Hello and welcome to your Friday Pick a Card with me, Intuitive Rene. Great to have you join me today, and I hope you're going to enjoy the reading I have in store for you. So today we are going to do a general, if I can call it, what will your life be like in 3 months' time? I have done these picker cards before, and the feedback has always been so great. So I do enjoy doing it. So that means that there's not really much in the way of structure with the particular reading. It's just a case of picking cards and seeing the message that comes through. So we're going to hand over to Spirit, and we're going to allow Spirit to give us the messages that we need, almost to give an idea of what will your life look like? What will your life look like in 3 months from now? So this particular video is timeless. What that means is you can watch it at any time. If you watch it on the day that it's released, it'll be relevant. But if you only come back and watch it in 6 months' time from the date that it was released, it would still be relevant to you as well. So there's no time limit on it. But when you do watch it, this will be let's call it a snapshot of your life 3 months from now. And to make life a little bit easier, a little bit simpler for you, what I've done is I have put out 3 piles of cards on the table here in front of me. So to help you choose which one is the one that's relevant and appropriate to you. So we've got pile number 1. We've got pile number 2 and pile number 3. So you can use a pendulum, you can use your own intuition, you can just close your eyes and just see which one you're drawn to, which one you're fascinated with, or which one just seems to call you out, even if it's the one that you always go for. If you always go for 1, or if you always go for 2 or 3, it doesn't matter, it'll be okay. And what I've done is I've basically created a pile of the different decks that I'm going to be working with today, just to, as I said, just to help you with the selection process to make it easier. But I have got a lot of cards here, maybe not so easy to see, but there are 4 oracles and a tarot deck that I'm going to be working with today, to give you an idea of what your life is going to be like. What are you going to be facing? What are you going to be dealing with? What are you going to be going through in 3 months from now? So once you know which reading is yours, once you know whether you're going 1, 2, or 3, you can use the timestamps in the description below, or the chapters. I forget what the correct terminology is as far as YouTube lingo goes. You can use that to jump straight across to that particular portion of the video to get you reading, and I do hope that you enjoy. So I'm going to stop babbling and let's get started. Right, so welcome to those of you who have chosen bundle 1 as the bundle that has the message of what your life is going to be like in 3 months' time. Welcome. So I have got a tiny little tarot deck in my hand. This is the Everyday Tarot by Biddy Tarot, I think it is. I love this little deck. I love it because it's purple, and of course you all know how much I like my purple. So there is that, but I also love it because it's so little, and I love the fact that it's matte. So Biddy Tarot, Everyday Tarot I should say, is what we're going to be using today. And this is to get a snapshot of what your life is going to be like in 3 months' time. So I'm giving the cards just a little bit of a shuffle. I'm going to draw 3 cards from this particular deck to tell us the story, and then once we have revealed the story, I will then use some oracle cards to elaborate and to get some clarity and any other additional information that we may need for your life 3 months from today. Right, cards are shuffled, and I'm going to cut the deck over there. Card number 1, we have got Justice, we have got the Sun card, and we have got the King of Wands. So I am going to say to you just right off the bat that these are 3 very powerful cards, okay? These 3 cards are not dealing with kind of average, simple, day-to-day kind of life events. These 3 cards are talking about important, serious stuff. And 3 months from now, you're going to be facing some tough decisions. You're going to be facing some hard truths. There may be some things that are coming out of the woodworks that may be difficult to bear, difficult to handle. But as long as you're staying on the straight and narrow, as long as you are sticking by the rules and sticking through structures and regulations and things like that, you're actually going to come out of it quite okay, because that's exactly what the Sun card is. The Sun card is about happiness and joy and success. The Justice card is about happiness, joy, and success, but the Justice card says you'll only be happy, you will only be successful, you'll only have a positive outcome if you have colored within the lines. If you have ventured outside of the lines, if you've colored outside of the lines, if you've broken some rules, you're going to be held accountable for it. But the fact that we've got the sun here, this is really a positive card in bringing a positive element to the justice card. So the justice card is saying that in 3 months from now, there are going to be some truths coming out. There are going to be some hard truths coming out that you need to deal with, that you need to face, that you need to understand. But honestly, I think it's going to be okay for you as long as you stay optimistic, as long as you stay positive, and as long as you approach it with the right mindset. Now, the King of Wands is the interesting one for me here out of these three, because the King of Wands is about being in control of your circumstance, about being in control of your situation. And I do think this has got to do with your, and I use air quotes, your doing, okay? Because one is the suit of doing. It's our actions. It's the things that we get up to. It's the things that we accomplish on a day-to-day basis. So it looks like in 3 months now, 3 months from now, it looks like life is going to be pretty okay. I do think that you're going to be navigating a couple of things, trying to handle a couple of things, and you may feel a little bit overburdened. You may feel a little bit nervous, scary, nervous, afraid, worried as to the outcome, especially with this justice card. So there may be some court issues, legal paperwork. There may be just some contracts and paperwork and that kind of thing taking place. But if you stay optimistic, it's actually going to work out okay, as long as you stay in control and optimistic, as long as you're not allowing yourself to get caught up in the fear and caught up in the drama and caught up in the chaos. You will actually be okay. And I do think whatever this particular justice situation is for you, I think it's actually going to help you to get ahead. It's going to help you to get in control, and it's going to help you to deal with and to navigate the things that you need to in life. So all in all, very, very positive. We're not done yet. We've still got a lot to go. Pushing these cards to the top of the table just so that we can have a little bit of space for all the other stuff that I need to bring into it. Okay, so we're going to start with Oracle cards now, and I have a lot of Oracle cards that I want to use. This is my combined deck. You can see by the colors on the side, I've got 2 oracles by the same creator that I have joined together. And this is the Oracle of Dreams and the Goddess Love, I think it's called. Gosh. We're going to just draw a single card from this particular deck just to add to our story of what you're going to be going through. What's life going to be like for you in 3 months' time? Apparently, I'm taking that one. So it is the card of passion, and that excites me for you. That really does, because you know, if you look at her, she is just living a good life. She is just living the best existence that she can. She is loving life, and she's loving it from her heart space. Okay, she is passionate, she is enthusiastic, she's creative, she's brave, she's out there. She's not sitting at home and hibernating and keep it all to herself. She's engaged, she's involved, she's engaging with everybody around her, and this is something that you need to be doing. So the key word at the bottom here is passion, and then it says to card 26, burning with life's passion. So whatever this situation is that you're going to be facing in 3 months' time, you need to tackle it or embrace it from a space of passion, from a space of excitement and rejuvenation and all of those kind of things. Don't take it from a place of fear, and that's what I already said. If we remain optimistic, if we deal with it from a point of enthusiasm and a point of excitement, we're going to handle it in process and overcome it really, really comfortably and easily. As soon as we allow fear in, we immediately start losing the success that's available to us. So take it with passion, live your life with passion. Whatever you're doing in 3 months' time, just do it from the heart space. And if it doesn't feel right, because I think that's what the Justice card is bringing in, if it doesn't feel right, if whatever you're doing in 3 months' time doesn't sit right with you, if there's no passion, if there's no driving force passion with it, stop. Okay, don't do something just for the sake of doing it. Do it because it feels right. Do it because it brings you happiness, brings you success, and it's going to give you the opportunity to progress in your career. Okay, and the next card, excuse me, stretching over. This is the, I had to look to see which deck it is. This is the Angel Guide Oracle by Kyle Gray. So let's give it a shuffle and see angel message that comes through. Where will you be in 3 months' time? What will your life look like in 3 months' time? What will be happening for you in 3 months' time? So 3 months' time, I don't know if I've mentioned it. We're now, well, actually, it doesn't matter. It's whenever you're watching this video. That's why I didn't mention it. Whenever you are watching this video, 3 months from then. And I am going for that card for you over there. Right, let's have a look and see the message that's coming through from the Angel Guide Oracle. Composure. You see, Now, again, looking at the artwork, I mean, even though he's sitting and composing himself, and even though he still has this control, we've got this beautiful, passionate fire energy behind his wings. These purple blue, what you're seeing here are his wings, his angel wings. So he's got his wings up, okay, if I can use that word. And that means that he's ready to go at a moment's notice. That means that he's ready to fly as soon as he needs to, as soon as he wants to. But he is absolutely holding that passion, holding that fire, holding that control. And he's holding it back. He's composing himself so that he only responds and reacts when appropriate, when the time is right. And that's passion for you. We have to, passion can push you forward when maybe it's not the right time. So we need a little bit of balance, and that's the justice card, isn't it? The justice card is that whole thing about balance. We have to learn how to balance our passion and our enthusiasm with what is the right thing, when is the right time, etc. And it is about containing or having composure around that passion. It doesn't mean diminishing it, and it doesn't mean switching it off and ignoring it. It says that we are going to do it. We are, absolutely, but we need to just make sure that the time is right, that we are ready, and that everything is set up in the way that it needs to. So composure coming through, I think, is just spirit saying, Rene, calm it down a little bit, slow it down a little bit. We don't want to rush into anything, because if we rush into anything, we do stand a chance of falling off our horse. So we don't want to be falling off our horse. So the passion is there, the enthusiasm, the excitement, the passion is absolutely going to be there, but we do need to just hold it within us until it's the right time, because we've got those scales of balance over there on the justice card as well. Right, next. So next is another beautiful oracle deck, and this one is called the Sacred Creators Oracle. So Sacred Creators Oracle has just got some keywords on it. It doesn't have any artwork. It is pretty, but it doesn't really have pictures. It's not really a pictorial oracle. It's more an oracle to inspire and to help you navigate life. So we're going to draw a single card from the Sacred Creators Oracle by Chris Ann. Chris Ann is the same person who created the Light Seers Tarot. Okay, so looking for a single card from here, cutting the deck and taking off the top. Let's have a look and see 3 months from now, what does the Sacred Creators Oracle have to say to us? We have got creator alchemy. Okay, so I love that, because here we have like a DNA strand. All right, so it's not really pictorial, but there's certainly, like, we have this ball, I'm going to call it a ball, and the ball is shining, and we have this DNA strand in the core of that ball, and it talks about creator alchemy. Now, I love the colors that we have, because this particular deck is incredibly colorful, but what we've got here is this kind of gray. Now, gray is typically a color we associate with not excitement, with not passion, with not anything else, but actually gray means that it's almost a mist, and a mist hides something. So to me, when I see creator alchemy and I see it with this gray coloring, it's telling me that we need to hold back on whatever we're doing, hence the composure. We need to let that excitement building, get that excitement building, but we need to remain hidden until the time is right, until we can actually leap forward, run forward, jump forward to achieve the things that we're doing. Create alchemy. Alchemy is the process of mixing. Alchemy is the process of taking a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, and putting it together and creating something that means something to you. So creator alchemy means that in 3 months' time, you are going to be at the top of your creativity, and wherever you are in life, whatever you're facing, whatever you're going through, you would have created it for yourself. So in saying that, friends, I am going to say that if in 3 months from now, if in 3 months from the time of watching this video, if in 3 months' time your life is not fabulous, okay, if you're facing some big challenges, if you're facing some big problems, this is creator alchemy is basically saying that you have manifested, you have created it. Remember the justice card. The justice card is saying stick with what is right. Don't color outside the lines. Don't break any rules. Don't go beyond or against any regulations. Stay within the lines, okay? Stay within your lane, but that doesn't mean that life has to be boring, because we've got passion here. We do need to compose ourselves. And I think the composure is just to pull you back before you make a mistake that you may regret, because the passion is riding so high. There is so much success available that is going to lead you forward in your career, but you are the creator of your own destiny, and you're in a position now at the time of watching this to recognize that you can create and manifest anything that you want. But you do need to make sure that it's correct, that it's right, and that we're not breaking any kind of regulations or any kind of structures, and not really deviating too far from your road, from your lane, from your track. All right, I have one more. I have one more. And this is, I always call it my favorite oracle deck. And this is the Sacred Destiny Oracle. I love, love, love this particular oracle deck. It's one I always reach for. I don't know. It just feels good to me. It just feels comfortable. It feels safe. So let's see, Sacred Destiny Oracle, what message do you have for where we're going to be in 3 months from now? What is the message? What are we going to be dealing with and facing 3 months from now? Right, let's turn it over and see what we've got. Stillness. So stillness is talking to that composure again, isn't it? Now we've got this beautiful swan. Beautiful swan, and the swan has this passion, has this enthusiasm, has this energy inside it, but it's not flying around like a mad thing. It's very composed, it's very still, it's very calm, it's very, very proper. That's the word that's sort of coming to me here with the stillness, is it's very proper. Now, it's interesting that I put this card at the top, which is the colorful, bright card. And then these three across the bottom, they seem to carry the same kind of coloring. You know, they've got this beautiful blues, but they're still the dark grays. We've got the dark grays, the beautiful blues, but the dark colors. And yet we've still got the orange coming through as well. So there's definitely a common thread that's coming through here for every single one of you. So 3 months from now, I do think there's going to be a struggle between passion and composure. Okay, running ahead with something or pulling ourselves back. And looking at this, it looks like you are in control. You are in control. You want happiness and success. And you know what? When it's so close, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but if you're walking towards an ice cream shop, for example, you've been craving and dying for ice cream for the longest time, and as you're walking towards the ice cream shop, you tend to pick up speed the closer you get, because of your excitement, because of your enthusiasm, because it's like, I'm going to get my ice cream. And even driving, you know, if you've been on the road for a long time, the closer you get to your destination, the more we tend to speed up, the more we tend to take a couple of shortcuts and take a couple of risks, because we're so eager and enthusiastic to arrive at where we need to be. And I think 3 months from now, you're going to be so close. You're going to be so close to achieving your goals, your dreams, and your desires and your ambitions. But there is going to be this kind of this drive within you to go a little bit quicker, to go a little bit faster, to cut a few corners, to speed things up a little bit. And the message that's coming through for you now is, don't do that. Okay, try and hold back as much as possible. Try and restrain yourself as much as possible. That passion is going to be strong. That passion is going to be driving you, but we have to do the right thing. We have to think about the consequences of our actions, even though we know in our hearts of heart, we know that we're going to succeed. We know that it's going to be okay. And you are going to be on top of your business, your career, your opportunities, your success, your doing. Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. But if we rush too quickly, we may actually fall a bit short, because you are the manifester of your own destiny. And we need to make sure that we're doing it correctly, because this is the key. You know, this justice card is actually the most important one. If we don't follow justice, if we don't do the right thing, the only person that's going to suffer is us. So let's do the right thing. Let's do the right thing, and let's not create a situation, an unnecessary situation. So friends, in 3 months from now, I think you're going to be toying with taking that shortcut, speeding things up, making things hurry up and get done, or holding back, restraining yourself, being composed and waiting for the right time. But honestly, you're going to be so close to achieving everything that you wanted for yourself. So be patient with yourself, compose yourself, trust in the process, stick with the process, don't deviate from that, and you will find the love, the happiness, the success that you deserve and that you've worked so hard towards. So friends, I hope you've enjoyed your reading. Do come back in 3 months' time and check it out and do the comparison and see how much of it has manifested for you. And do comment below and let me know. I look forward to hearing from you. With love and blessings, from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care. To those of you who chose bundle 2 as the bundle that has the reading that you need to give you the insight into what your life is going to be like in 3 months from now. So as I said earlier on, it doesn't matter when you watch this video, whenever it is, 3 months from now is what we're looking at. Where will you be? What will you be facing? What will be going on in your life 3 months from today? As you can see, I am shuffling a tiny, tiny little tarot deck. I love this little tarot deck. It is so cute. It is the, I think it's called the Tarot Everyday or Everyday Tarot, something like that. So we're giving it a shuffle, and I'm going to lay out 3 cards from here, which are going to give us the story around what it is that you're going to be going through, dealing and facing in 3 months from now. So I think I have given the cards quite a good shuffle. Let's lay them out and see what comes through. Cutting the deck over there. So card number 1 that we have for you, if I can pick up one at a time, is the Hanged Man. Card 2 is the World, a very interesting indeed. And card 3 is the Lovers. So 3 major arcana cards. So immediately what I can say to you, to those of you who have chosen this particular reading, immediately what I can say to you is that in 3 months from now, whatever you're going through, whatever's happening in your life is going to be a big thing. It's not going to be standard kind of day-to-day kind of stuff. We're talking about big stuff. Because we've got 3 major arcana, out of 78 cards, you've got 3 major arcana that have come through. It is talking about the big stuff. And when I look at this, I honestly think that you personally have changed, are changing. You personally are going through quite the metamorphosis, because you've started looking at your life differently. And I do think it's related to relationships, but not only romantic relationships. Okay, so I do think it's related to the connections that you have with other people. I also think it's got to do with the decisions and the choices and the consequences of those decisions around who you spend time with, who is significant in your life. So you may already now, at the time of watching this video, be questioning your social standings, be questioning relationships, be questioning connections that you have with other people. This Hanged Man card over here, he talks about self-sacrifice. He talks about looking at things differently. He talks about saying, you know what, I'm not really satisfied with the status quo. I'm not really satisfied with the way that my life is. But before I do anything, let me just observe. Let me just be aware. Let me just be mindful of what is going on. The Hanged Man, as I said, it is a card of self-sacrifice as well, which means that sometimes we continue on a road, we continue on a journey, knowing that it's not where we want to be, knowing that it's not really what we want to be doing, but understanding that in the bigger scheme of things, it's okay for now. Okay, so it's almost like at the time of watching this video, this is probably the kind of thoughts that are already coming into your mind, but in 3 months time you would have made the sacrifices, you would have seen the truth, you would have had these kind of conversations with yourself, and you would have said to yourself, you know what, self, it's time for some change. It's time for us to do things a little bit differently. So quite interesting the way that that's coming through. But this is all about looking at everything differently. So as much as I brought the Lovers card in here about, you know, connections with other people and choices and decisions and consequences, it's about everything. Okay, I don't think I could, with these cards, actually label it or put a label on it to say it's only this part of life or only this aspect of your life, because this is actually everything. I think whatever you're facing in 3 months' time, whatever you're going through in 3 months' time, I think it's something that's been building for the longest time. It's kind of thoughts and feelings and, you know, things that have been sitting with you for the longest time saying, I don't like this. I don't want this. How did I get here? How did this happen? How did this manifest? Okay. So those kind of questions. And this is about you suddenly seeing things in the way that they truly are, suddenly seeing things for what they truly are. Okay. The World card talks about coming full circle. And this is what excites me, because in 3 months' time, you would have seen, you would have recognized, you would have acknowledged the things that are not fabulous in your life, okay? And you would have said to yourself, you know what, I get that, and I'm okay with those things not being fabulous. I'm okay with things being like that. But the truth of the matter is, I have now ticked off everything on my to-do list. I've ticked it all off. I have accomplished, I have done, I've succeeded, I have sacrificed, I have given, I have taken, I have done it all. And now it doesn't mean it's the end. It doesn't mean that we're finished. It doesn't mean that we're done. What the World card actually is saying to you is that you're recognizing all that you've accomplished and all that you've achieved and all that you've gained. And you're now saying to yourself, it's time for change. So in 3 months' time, you're really going to be looking at your life, the life that you've lived up to this point, and saying to yourself, I'm satisfied and happy with all that I've accomplished, with all that I've done, but recognizing that there's a part of yourself that's still feeling unfulfilled. There's a part of yourself that still feels like it could be better. And it can be better. Of course, it can be better. And you're seeing that. Okay. And then to bring the Lover's card in. So the Lover's card traditionally is about relationships. It is also about choices that we make, the relationship choices that we make, and the consequences of those. You know, have you heard the saying, love is blind? Of course you have. Everybody knows love is blind. When you are so ridiculously in love with a person, you don't see their flaws. You don't see their faults. And maybe this Lover's card coming up is saying that you, in 3 months' time, are going to be questioning a relationship. And I do want to say to you that it may not be a romantic relationship. It could be a friendship. It could be a social. It could be a work. It could be any other kind of relationship where you're going to be questioning, when you first got involved in that relationship, when you first became part of that relationship, you did it blindly because you were so enthusiastic and so excited and so happy with who they were, what they represented to you, that you didn't see their flaws. But now that we've come full circle, now that we've seen what we needed to see, suddenly we're saying, hold a second, who are you? What are you? Why are you in my life? What are you bringing to the table? How are you contributing to my life? So this could very well be romance. It could very well be in a personal relationship, but it could also be just a social connection. But you're certainly going to be questioning. You're certainly going to be looking at things and saying, actually, I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied. It's not enough for me anymore. I need more. I want more. I deserve more. And you're going to be making sure that that happens. So I'm quite confident to say that 3 months from today, you get your let me get my words right. 3 months from today, you're going to be questioning relationships. You're going to be questioning scenarios, social engagements, social connections, and you're going to be asking yourself, what am I getting from this relationship? What am I getting from this interaction? And if I'm not getting what I need to get, then I am done. Then I have completed the full circle. I have given everything that I need to give, and it's time to move on, because I'm not sticking around if there's nothing in it for me anymore. Okay. And that's not a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing. Staying in a situation, whether it be social, whether it be whatever, staying in a situation where you are unhappy, unfulfilled, and unsatisfied, that's a mistake. Moving on, allowing yourself to evolve, allowing yourself to complete a circle and start a new circle where you have potential for happiness and success more than you've had in the past. That is what we're working towards. All right, so there's still a lot more to come, but I am just going to move those cards to the top of the screen so that I have space for more, because there's a whole lot that we need to do. And excuse me, reaching over here. First oracle deck that I have is a combined oracle deck that I have from the Goddess Dream and the Goddess Love Oracle. I think I've got it right this time. They are by the same creator, and I have created them or put them together into a single deck. So let's shuffle and draw a single card from here that's going to contribute to our story of where you're going to be, what you're going to be, what's your life going to be like in 3 months from now. All right, so cards are shuffled, and I am going to take that one over there. Put the cards away. Let's have a look and see what we've got. You see, I can't make this stuff up, guys. I honestly can't. So here we have this beautiful maiden. I mean, I love, she's got such a serene expression on her face. She looks so peaceful. She looks so tranquil. She's with her horse, and of course, she doesn't love horses. We've got all sorts of energies going on here. I love this heart on her third eye. Third eye is about your psychic vision. It's about your psychic senses. It's about seeing into the future. So she's doing that. She's clearly seeing into the future. These doves that we have, white doves of peace, white doves of happiness, and it's almost like she's releasing them because she's recognizing happiness, her own happiness. The key phrase across the bottom here is, where are you heading? So that ties in so beautifully with this message. This message is about looking at your circumstance, looking at your situation and asking yourself, what's in it for me? What am I getting from this situation? Recognizing that you have done everything you set out to do, accomplished everything you've set out to accomplish. And now we're saying, okay, what next? So in 3 months' time, this is absolutely what you're going to be faced with. I'm loving it. All right, next oracle deck. beautiful bright orange, and this is from the Angel Guide Oracle by Kyle Gray. So let's shuffle and see the message that wants to come through from the angel guides around where will you be in 3 months' time? What will you be facing? What will you be navigating? What will be happening in your life 3 months from now? Love this, love this, love this. Okay, cards given a bit of a shuffle, and I want that card over there. Let's have a look and see what we've got. Same thing. It's the same story. Clear, cancel, release. Like, done. I love how she has, first of all, these crossed arms across her chest is protecting the heart. Okay, so it's protecting her emotions, it's protecting her soul, it's protecting herself. And these hands that she's put up with, these like really, really straight, she is deflecting any kind of negative energy that's coming. She is clearing, canceling, and releasing it, sending it straight back, saying, I am not allowing any energy that doesn't serve me, that doesn't contribute anything, that doesn't help me in any way. I'm not accepting, I'm not welcoming, and I'm not allowing it into my space. So again, this is absolutely confirming what we've said there and what we've said there. So I am very excited to see where you're going to be in 3 months' time, because it certainly looks like you're going to be taking no nonsense from anybody. You're going to be quite brutal in the way that you are responding and reacting to people by just putting up your hand and saying, stop. I'm not taking that from you anymore. It's not allowed. This is how things will be going forward. I have looked, I have observed, I have sacrificed, I have understood, I have done everything I needed to do. I have completed my end of the bargain. I have done everything I needed to do. It's now time to actually say, what's in it for me? And it's time to question and to make the changes that are necessary. So, moving on to the next one. This particular deck is a beautiful deck. It's called the Sacred Creators Oracle, created by Chris Ann, the same lady who did the Light Years Tarot. So let's shuffle and see Sacred Creators. What message does it have as far as what you're going to be dealing with in 3 months from now? Let's have a look. I love the sound of these cards when they shuffle. They are beautiful cardstock, and they just sound fabulous. Right, cards are shuffled. And I'm taking that one across the top. Let's have a look and see Sacred Creators. What message does it have? First of all, heart. Okay, just emotions, heart, love, all of that. We've got the word bliss. And it says bliss is worth creating from. No, maybe we don't do it from our souls. Maybe we need to do it for somebody. No, then we scratch that out and we say from. Bliss is worth creating from love. Okay, so it's almost like we're questioning ourselves. Where was it? Questioning. Okay, it's almost like we're questioning ourselves and saying, like, you know, bliss. We want bliss. We all want bliss. We know we deserve bliss. We know we want it. We know that it's so close. It's right here in front of us. And bliss is worth creating from. No, I mustn't be selfish. I mustn't think about myself. Let's scratch that out. For. That's not when you're thinking about somebody else and somebody else's needs, wants, and desires. And you go, no, actually, from love, okay? Because you're not going to find bliss. You can't buy it in a shop. You can't get it somewhere. Bliss is something that comes from the heart space. And we can't have bliss if we're not happy with our circumstance. We cannot have bliss if we're not happy with who we're spending our time with. If you're surrounding yourselves with people who don't operate from bliss, it's not going to happen. You're not going to find, and this is the time, in 3 months' time, you're going to be questioning. You're going to be recognizing and realizing that bliss is the most important thing. Being in bliss, being of bliss is the most important thing. And it's not the bliss that's relevant or appropriate to other people, but it's the bliss that's relevant and appropriate to you. Cancel, clear, release, deflect. I love it. Right, I have one more, but I've lost it because it's this side. One more oracle, and this is the one that I like to refer to as my favorite oracle. It is the Sacred Destiny Oracle by Denise Lynn. I love this deck. This deck just, it's so gentle, it's so honest, without being brutal, without being nasty, without being ugly, and it just talks to my soul. So let's see, Sacred Destiny Oracle, what do you want to add to where we will be? What will we be dealing with? What will we be going through in 3 months' time? Okay, cards are shuffled. I want that one in the middle there. That one. Let's have a look and see what Sacred Destiny wants to add. So we've got standstill. This is so interesting. I did not expect standstill. So here we have the stork in a forest. Look how calm the waters are. There's not a ripple. There's not a wave. There's not a ripple. There's a nothing. You can see that the stork has been standing in the waters for the longest time, waiting patiently. The stork will move and react and respond incredibly quickly once they've seen the fish, the whatever it is, the frog, the fish, whatever it is that he's hoping to catch. But he recognizes that before action is inaction. Before we move, before we respond, before we react, we need to stand still. And that is confirmation of that hanged man, because that hanged man is saying to you, you need to observe, you need to stop all activity, you need to sacrifice a little bit, you need to just keep going without actually doing anything while you observe, while you watch, while you stand still, so that we can identify what is and isn't working for you. Are you doing things because it pleases other people, or are you doing things because it pleases yourself? And in 3 months' time, I think you're going to be tired of the standstill. In 3 months' time, you're going to be ready to react, ready to respond, ready to jump into action, because we are going to clear, cancel, and release. We are going to change our direction and recognize that we have to take care of our bliss. We have to look after ourselves. Nobody else is going to do that for you. You have to do it for yourself. So it's interesting, friends. I honestly think the next 3 months are going to be really interesting in your life. And in 3 months' time, your focus is going to be on your happiness. Your focus is going to be on your bliss, on your happiness, and on, you're only going to have people in your life that actually contribute something positive to your life. If anybody doesn't contribute anything positive, like again, the stork standing here in the water, he's probably very fussy as to what fish or what frog he's going to eat. So he will stand in that water and let all those kind of fish and frogs swim past him. And he'll just ignore them until he gets the one he wants, because he's prepared to sacrifice and to wait it out until the time is right, until he gets what he wants. And this is honestly, friends, what is important for you. Don't settle for mediocre. Don't settle for average. Don't. You deserve more. You deserve better. And in 3 months' time, you will be making those changes in your life to bring you the happiness and the bliss that you deserve, that you need, and that you desire. So I can't wait. Come back in 3 months' time, watch this video again, and leave me comments below letting me know the changes that you've made in your life. Wishing you 3 months of bliss, 3 months of pause, 3 months of waiting, 3 months of observing how you have achieved and accomplished everything you needed to, and 3 months of questioning, why are people in your life? What are they contributing, and what are they bringing to your life? With love and blessings, from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care. Right, so bundle 3, people who chose, all of you who chose message 3, reading 3, bundle 3, I don't know what to call it. Welcome. I am shuffling the tarot deck that I'm going to be working with today. And this particular tarot deck, I think it's called the Everyday Tarot, or Tarot Everyday, something like that, by Biddy Tarot. So giving it a shuffle, and we're going to use this particular deck to get the full story around what will your life be like 3 months from today. What will you be going through? What will you be dealing with 3 months from today? So what will be happening? What will be important for you to be aware of? What will you be working through 3 months from today, regardless of when today is? Okay, so if you're watching this video on the day it's released, or if you're watching it in a future date, it doesn't matter. 3 months from the time that you watch this video, what will your life be like in 3 months from today? Let's have a look. I think I have shuffled enough. So I'm going to put the cards together. I'm going to cut the deck over there, and we're going to draw out 3 cards. Card number 1 for you, we have got the Page of Cups. Lovely Page of Cups. Second card we have for you is the Tower. And the third card we have for you is the 10 of Pentacles. So that's very, very interesting indeed. So whenever the Tower card comes up, everybody seems to panic. We all seem to get into because the Tower generally doesn't have a very positive kind of message for us. Page of Cups has a positive message. 10 of Pentacles has a positive message. But we've got this Tower card in the middle. The message coming through for you here, well, I'm going to take them one by one and then I'll put it all together. The Page of Cups. I love the Page of Cups. Page of Cups is very enthusiastic. Page of Cups is somebody who's very excited about the future, very excited about life, curious, okay? Very curious and very like inquisitive and wanting to explore and wanting to see, but on an emotional level. So the Page of Cups says that you, in 3 months' time, you're going to be somebody who's like, why are you feeling like that? Why are you saying that? Asking questions and digging into emotions, your emotions and the emotions of others. Wanting to understand, wanting to experience, and wanting to explore things. The second card we have here is the Tower. And as I said, your Tower generally has a bit of a negative connotation attached to it. The Tower is the card of destruction. It's the card of things falling apart. It's the card that says to you, you know, the life that you knew, it seems to crumble, okay? And when we have this crumble, we then have to do the rebuild. When we have this crumble, we have to build ourselves up again. So in 3 months' time, you're going to be dealing with the rebuild. So I honestly believe that the Tower card by 3 months' time would have already happened, okay? So I don't think you'll be facing the Tower. And I'm saying that because we've got 2 positive cards on either side of it. So if we had negative cards here, I would say that the Tower would be, your world would be crumbling in 3 months' time. But I think this is saying your world has probably crumbled already now, or maybe in the process of, but in 3 months' time, looking at this, we're going to be so excited and so enthusiastic about rebuilding our lives, about reestablishing ourselves and redefining ourselves and choosing, you know, things for ourselves that because things are falling apart. And the Ten of Pentacles is the card of inheritance. It's the card of longevity. The Ten of Pentacles, the card that says, you know, we're not thinking about today, but we're thinking about the future. We're thinking about long term. We're thinking about, you know, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, 100 years' time kind of scenario. So this is very interesting. For each one of you who have chosen this particular message or where you will be in your life in 3 months' time, I don't think you're going to be afraid. I don't think you're going to be fearful. I don't think you're going to be worried or concerned. I actually think you're going to be feeling very confident, very strong, maybe a slight little bit of like uncertainty, but nothing that's going to worry you, nothing that's going to hold you back, and nothing that's going to prevent you from experiencing success. You would have overcome something big, a big change in your life, okay? So the Tower card is about a change. It's about your world crumbling. So whatever that means, but you would be overcoming that. You'd be working through that and almost reestablishing yourself after the devastation, after the trauma, the tragedy, the breakdown, the removal of whatever. Now, this could be work. It could be finances. It could be relationship. It could be anything, okay? It could be illness. It could be anything that happens suddenly, that comes unexpectedly, and something that you have to process and work through. So I honestly think it may have already transpired for a lot of you, and if it hasn't yet, it's going to happen within the next 3 months. But in 3 months' time, you're going to be quite confident about reestablishing, reinventing, and recreating yourself after this event. And when you do that, your focus is not on the now. The focus is not on where you are in 3 months' time, but your focus is going to be long term. Thinking about, okay, so if I suddenly have to move house, if I suddenly have, and I'm saying house because we've got the Tower, which is representative of, well, the actual building here is our home base, okay? But it may not be your home that's changed here. But you're going to be thinking about, okay, if I have to move home, what are my needs going to be in 5 years' time? What are my needs going to be in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time, in 30 years' time? I don't want to change now for short term. I want to make it a long term thing. Everything has to be long term. So in 3 months' time, where you're going to be in your life is ready to make the changes, to make the commitments, to do the things that you need to do, taking care of yourself in the long term. And you're going to be feeling very confident, very enthusiastic about it. Yes, there may still be some, I'm going to call it debris, some emotional debris that may be lying around, but actually I think you'd be quite strong. I think you're going to be quite confident, and you're going to be working towards repairing, upgrading, I like that word, upgrading yourself, your situation and your circumstances for the better, based on what, so it's almost like setting your foundation for the rest of your life. I love that. Setting that foundation for the basis of the rest of your life because of whatever this is. So we're not talking about this, okay? We're not talking about whatever goes wrong. We're not talking about the yucky, all right? We're not going to be focusing on that because this particular reading is talking about where you will be in 3 months' time. And this would have already happened, and you're going to be feeling very confident, very enthusiastic, and very curious about your options, about the potentials and, you know, the what could be. And you're going to use all of this to reestablish yourself, to recreate yourself, and to rebrand yourself almost. Rebrand yourself for better in the future. Okay, I'm going to push these cards to the top of the table here. They're going to stay there. I just need to make space for all the other cards that we're going to be working with. So the first deck that I'm bringing out now next, it is an oracle deck. This is my combined Goddess Love and Goddess Dream Oracle. I got the words right. I got it wrong in the first one. Let's shuffle and we see what message wants to come through to elaborate on what we've already said for where you're going to be in 3 months' time, what you're going to be dealing with, and what you're going to be facing in 3 months from now. Let's see. So giving the cards just a little bit of a shuffle, trying not to glare you too much because these are super glossy. Let's see what message wants to come through. Okay, cards are shuffled. And I'm going to cut over there and take that card. Let's have a look and see 3 months from now what's going to be going on. I see perfect balance. I'm loving this. So it is the card of harmony, card number 13. It's the card of perfect balance. I love the colors. We've got these rich winter, autumn colors coming through. She is quite content. So is our little fox, fast asleep on her shoulder, very content. They are content with each other. They are at peace with each other. They are in harmony with each other. But you know what? A fox is a wild animal, isn't it? So the fox has had to be taken out of its comfort zone. A fox has had to be taken out of its natural habitat, out of its natural space, but yet has overcome that fear and overcome that change and made harmony with her. So going back to our Tower card over here, being taken out of your comfort zone, being taken out of your safe place, out of your home space, and being forced to readapt and readjust yourself in a whole nother environment, in a whole nother universe. That would have been what happened. So the fox has already been taken out of his home and he's already connected with her and they've already made friends. They're besties now. And they are living in perfect harmony because we have balance. So she recognizes that he's a wild, he or she, I don't know what the fox's gender is, but she recognizes the fox's nature. She's obviously accommodating whatever the fox's needs are while keeping the fox safe and still receiving love and nourishment from the fox. And she is thinking about the longevity of the whole situation. All right, next is this deck. This deck is a beautiful orange color. I love the vibrancy of it. And this is, and I always have to look, the Angel Guide Oracle by Kyle Gray. So let's see what it wants to contribute to our story of where you're going to be or what you're going to be dealing with, what you're going to be, navigating. The Guardian Angel jumped through, so I just think that's a confirmation to say that you're not alone and you will be protected through whatever, because I imagine that there's a bit of panic around the Tower card. There's a bit of panic around that. So that Guardian Angel jumping was just to let you know that you're going to be okay. That it's not going to be, oh my gosh, all the cards are jumping, but that's just me in my bad shuffling. Look at that. The Guardian Angel jumped again. So you know what? She's staying out now. She's staying out now, but I'm still going to draw another one. So I think that's just absolute confirmation that you need to know that you are safe, that you need to know that you are protected, that you need to know it's not going to be so bad. It's going to be okay. You've got to trust. You've got to trust. It's not going to be as disastrous as you're imagining in your mind. Okay, cards are shuffled. Cutting the deck, and I am choosing that one. So you're getting an extra card. Let's see what we've got. Surrender. You see? So again, I think this is absolutely talking about the fear and the panic about what disaster may be happening in your life that you will be dealing with and overcoming in 3 months' time. This is Spirit saying, don't worry about it. Really, don't worry about it. When I put these two together, can you see that they are the same colors? We've got the blue, we've got the blue, we've got the pink, we've got the pink. They are almost a yin and yang energy, isn't it? What does yin and yang do? It brings about perfect balance. It brings about perfect balance. So I do think our guardian angel, your guardian angel, is saying to you, don't focus on the unnecessary, okay? Whatever this is, it's not going to be that disastrous. It's not going to be that tragic. It's not going to be that awful, all right? But we have to surrender to whatever the change is. You have to surrender to whatever happens in your life, and just know that you are safe, that know that you are protected, and know that it's all going to be okay. All right, I'm just trying to rearrange them because I've still got 2 cards to add, so we may run out of space on camera because Guardian Angel was so determined to come through for you guys. All right. Surrender, what I like about the surrender card is surrender is not about giving in. It's not about giving up. It's not about giving up your power or your authority or your ability. Surrender is just saying, I'm going to go with the flow. And something I have mentioned on quite a few occasions in my videos is, if you ever fall into a river, a raging river, okay, you've got no lifeboat, you've got no a life jacket, you've got nothing. They say to you, I say they say because, the kind of way of handling it, what is said is, turn onto your back with your feet downstream, okay? Keep your hands on your chest like this and just go with the flow of the water. Surrender to the current, and eventually it will bring you out at calm waters, in which case you can get up. When you fight and when you resist and when you struggle and try and go against the current and go against the stream, that's when you drown. So surrender here is saying, I acknowledge, I'm aware, but I'm also just going to see it out. I'm just going to allow things to unfold. I'm not going to control. I'm not going to try and navigate. I'm not going to try and change. I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to surrender to the process. And I'm going to know that Spirit are taking care of me. I'm going to know that my guardian angel is there for me, and my guardian angel has my best interests at heart. Because whatever this is, it's clearly something that is necessary. But in 3 months' time, it's done and it's dusted, and we're focusing on rebuilding. We're focusing on creating longevity in our lives, happiness over a long journey. So next deck, we've got so much, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to call it overglare, but that's not the word. White balance, I don't know. So this particular deck, it doesn't want to at all. You can see the back of it. This is the Sacred Creators Oracle, created by Chris Ann. Chris Ann is the same lady who did the Lightseers Tarot, for those of you who use the Lightseers Tarot. So just going to shuffle and take a single card from here, again, to elaborate and to continue with what you're going to be going through. What are you going to be dealing with? What is your life going to be like in 3 months from now? I love the sound of these cards shuffling. Some ASMR for you. Right. Shuffling, splitting, and taking that card over there. Gosh, this glare is terrible. I don't know why. All right, let's turn it over and see what we get. The camera obviously wanted a little break, right? So, the Sacred Creators Oracle has given us the card of shift, card 29, and it says the way to new potential. So we have to shift the way to new potential. I'm loving the greens and the golds. We've got all the golds over there as well. So what does shift the way to new potential mean? It means surrender. It means letting go. It means acknowledging and accepting the change that is coming through, and understanding that the change is actually in your best interests in the long run, because that's what we're looking at here. We need to be excited. We need to be enthusiastic. We need to be curious. We need to be all of those kind of things around the shift and change. But we need to understand that we need perfect harmony in our lives. We need that balance. We need to surrender to it, though, because over the next 3 months, the shift is definitely happening. It is big. It is massive. I don't know if the shift itself is big, but the outcome is big, because you are going to come out of this completely different. You are going to come out of this in a whole new state of mind and a whole new state of being, and just so much better than you are right now. Okay. Then our final oracle card that I want to draw is from what I call my favorite oracle deck. This is the Sacred Destiny Oracle. Sacred Destiny Oracle by Denise Lynn. I love this particular deck because this particular deck is just, it's so gentle while being honest and straightforward, but it just gives so much to me. So Sacred Destiny Oracle, what else do you want to add? What else can you contribute to where we will be in 3 months' time? What is this change that we're going through? What do we need to know? What will we be facing in 3 months from now? Right. I think cards are shuffled, and I'm going to cut the deck there and take a card straight off the top. So let's have a look and see, Sacred Destiny Oracle, what message do you have for us? So we have got, I need to change this coloring because you can't even read the writing at the bottom here. Pleasure, there we go. Look at the artwork, isn't it gorgeous? We've got this beautiful pathway, we've got Bambi, we've got flowers, we've got an archway which is just leading us to a whole nother world. Okay, so if you imagine this, we have to walk this path, we have to endure this path, we have to climb this hill until we get there. And when we do and we step beyond, we're stepping into a whole nother realm, into a whole nother world, into a whole nother universe. But we have to endure the journey first. We have to develop and allow ourselves to walk up this path in order to have the new opportunities that are coming to you. So friends, 3 months from now, there would have been some changes in your life. Changes that might not be so comfortable, might not be so easy, but ones you need to embrace, ones that you need to accept. You need to get enthusiastic and creative around what the future holds for you and what you're going to be doing and the potentials that are available to you. But we need to understand that we are establishing a foundation for the rest of our lives. So whatever you're facing, whatever you're doing, it's about establishing your foundation, your base, not only for today, but for tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, in 10 years' time, 20 years' time, etc. We need to bring about some harmony in our lives. We need that perfect balance. We need to understand that it's okay to climb out of our comfort zones. It's okay to change our habitats while we seek, find, and gain the harmony that we're looking for. We need to surrender to the process. We need to try not control it. We need to try not have expectations or have opinions around it. We need to just trust that it's all going to be okay. And we need to allow ourselves to shift the way to new potential, because we need to change. Not our environment, not our surroundings, not our circumstances. We need to change. And we need to recognize that we're entitled to pleasure. We're entitled to happiness. Maybe you don't have any. And maybe that's where the shift and change is coming, to allow, to open opportunities, to bring pleasure into your life. But in order to have pleasure in your life, you've still got a ways to go, because pleasure is through that doorway, through that archway, through that opening. That's where pleasure resides. But you've still got to climb the mountain. You've still got to climb the mountain to get to the top in order to find the pleasure. So there is nothing to fear. You've got your guardian angel right by your side, holding you close, guiding you and keeping you safe on this journey. So there is nothing to fear, everything to gain. And honestly, I think in 3 months' time, I think everything's going to be obviously crystal clear, but there's nothing to worry about. So don't panic over the next while thinking about all the things that could potentially go wrong. Rather focus on the pleasure, the shifts, the changes, the safety, the balance that's going to be available to you, and recognizing that the changes that are coming are going to give you a solid foundation for the rest of your life. So friends, I look forward to hearing from you in 3 months' time. Do come back and comment and let us know what has unfolded. Make a note somewhere and come back in 3 months' time. I'd love to hear from you and love to hear how this relates to whatever happened in your life. With love and blessings, from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.